This is Will Nunziata, New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film. And today I am thrilled to be speaking with the acclaimed Berlin-based artist, producer, composer. He does it all, the one and only Dark at Three. But before we get to our interview, here's a sneak peek at Dark at Three's incredible talent.
Got the message from everywhere that obviously I'm different, I'm not good enough. And to carry that into your adult life, difficult, and then put the acting on top of it, it's a lot.
A lot of people still deny that a lot of people do have mental disorders.
Mental illness or mental health is just a health issue as every other problem.
I thought that I might lose what makes me special, my pain, my struggle, my suffering and everything, all that thing that's so important to me.
The most important thing is just be truthful to yourself and if you're insane by nature, be insane by nature. But I don't think you should be insane just because you're creative. It doesn't belong together for me personally.
But this is what it is actually about. I understand that other people try to understand and try to put themselves in my shoes, but what is actually missing is understanding for oneself and being able to put down your ego.
Well, hello, Dark at Three. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thanks for having me on.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you. And this is what I love about this app. I've done over 900 interviews all over the world, from Japan to Singapore to Australia to London to Iceland. And here we are once again in the great city of Berlin. And that is where you are at, but you weren't born in Berlin, were you?
No, so it's a bit of a long story, actually. I was born in Australia, in Sydney, and then lived in Hong Kong and Bangkok, and then came to Berlin to study music production and sound engineering, and working from here for now.
That's amazing. And that was not a long story. I mean, a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
But I love that you
go into the details if you want, but I think that could take a while.
We're going to save that for your memoir, Dark at Three.
Exactly.
Now, listen, I love the fact, though, that you've been able to probably pick up so many wonderful musical influences in every place you've been able to live. And I'm curious for you. Well, I'm just curious, I guess, first and foremost, Dark at Three, when did you was there a moment, an aha moment where you realized that it was kind of, this production side of things that really, really interested you?
Yeah, actually, it's kind of crazy because I didn't actually start producing until about 3-4 years ago. I was just really a guitarist and bassist and performer for like the last 10 years. And then moved to Berlin, and I was like, well, you know what? I'm getting to the point where I can kind of learn guitar by myself. There's always more you could learn, right? But I was feeling quite confident in my abilities, and I was like, that's actually probably better to pick up an extra skill. And it was great. It was like just a music school as well as a film school, but it was a really creative environment, and I was meeting people doing, indie music to house music to techno and drum and bass and everything, and there was kind of just this real melting pot. And I was like, yeah, this is I think the direction I need to take.
It seems like you were like Dorothy in Oz. You opened up those gates and you were like, what?
For sure. I went from like 10 years of kind of just doing like, rock and metal guitar and all that and writing in bands, and it's amazing and I still love doing it, but it was not a lot of the same thing.
It's your foundation. But the fact of the matter is that it took this experience for you to realize, oh my gosh, thank God I have this foundation. But my love and interest lies in more than one lane.
Exactly. Yeah. And there's just so much, and I still love to incorporate guitar and all of those roots, even if I make some more, I'll make like an R&B track or something a little more electronic, experimental, but I'll still bring all those influences from
it becomes your thread throughout everything.
Exactly.
I love that. Well, listen, Dark at Three, I'm curious to know, is there anything you're working on now that isn't released yet that you can just kind of give us some sort of like sneak peek behind the scenes story, like concept or when a release date is? What we need more of Dark at Three.
So far, no release dates confirmed. I do have a lot of exciting projects I'm working on though at right now. One of my good friends, Lake Artific, and I are working on a couple remixes. So he's remixing Tempest from my EP, and I'm remixing, I think it's 52100 from his album. And we're doing that kind of under Darktific. Uh, so the Darktific remixes, and I've got a single coming out that I'm working with Layla Bergen in LA. She's got an amazing voice, and it's a bit of a more chill, hip hop y ballad R&B ballad kind of thing. And that one I am really excited for because
Oh
I
my
think
God.
that's one of the best songs I've written in a while.
Dark 3, you have so much going on. I want to let our audience know for more on Dark 3 and just keeping up with everything that he's doing. If you can keep up, I certainly will. You can read more about him right below this video. Dark 3, final question for you. I'm curious to
Hmm.
know, my friend. You know, this has been a tough time for a lot of people, especially artists. And it may be tough, in the coming months as we get through this next variant.
Hmm.
What advice would you give to artists out there who may not be as, optimistic and I don't know, you have a certain vibe to you, and not everyone is built for that, and that's cool. But I'm just curious, like, what advice you would give to those artists that may be feeling a little down on the dumps?
Mm. Um, I think at least for me, and this is something that when COVID really hit at the beginning, I was like, it's kind of the time where the world stopped, and but it was also a great time to just buckle down and just really improve on what you wanted to improve and the things that you've been wanting to do forever that you never really had the time to do. Now is the time to do it. I think. I mean, even though everyone's still busy, it's still things, especially now the world's opening back up a little bit, there's more things going on, but it's this is really the time, I think, at least it was for me, to just kind of buckle down, put your head down, and just do it. And that's what happened with me. And then that's when I wrote the first EP, Against the Dying Light, and then I kept on writing music, and it was just a great time to really just hone in on my craft.
Amen, my friend. Amen. Well, listen, you're an incredible artist, an incredible human. I'm so excited you're coming on board this brand new social media app that's going to be able to connect you with not only artists and fans in your country, but all around the world. And listen, Dark at 3, I'm so grateful that we too are now connected.
Yes, me too. It's great. I'm excited to looking forward to everything that's to come.